We've looked at how Lightroom works on desktop. Let's look at how it works on a mobile device. Once you go ahead and open the program and it loads, it's going to give you a similar look to what you saw in the library. You're going to see your different albums and all your photos. You can search that way. Before we go in and choose a photo, let's look at the menu on the top left. So you can actually access your account here and go to your preferences. You can look at premium or paid features that you can add on to Lightroom and different options like that. You can hit the magnifying glass on the top and search for particular photos. You can look at alerts with the bell, and you can also hit the cloud icon, and you can pause your syncing to the cloud if you would like to. But currently it tells me that I have everything synced and backed up. So down on the bottom, we've got our library. You can also go into shared. If there's any shared photos, you can go to the learn, which will give you some of those tutorials that you can walk through step by step to learn new skills in Lightroom. And you can see as we go down, there's tutorials that are very short, just a couple of minutes long, that'll walk you through click by click, step by step on how to do different things. And you can also hit discover on the bottom right to find other photos that people have shared. So let's go back into the library. Let's go ahead and click on the blue camera icon now. And this will allow you to take a photo using more advanced functions and features than your mobile phone might typically let you do. So when this is first opened, it most likely will be on auto, as you can see here, and that will give you the option to lock your exposure. And you can also use different filters with the button on the right. You can also switch your camera to professional, and that will give you even more features, such as if you want to change the white balance, you can, or you can hit the three-dot menu and you can change the aspect ratio of the image you're taking. You can adjust and show a grid if you want to see like a rule of thirds grid or a golden mean or something like that. You could also activate the level so you can make sure that the image you're taking is level. Let's go ahead and deselect both those options. And finally, if you hit the gear, you have other options that you can activate, such as geotagging. You can also, on some cameras, capture the raw photo, meaning all of the light and the data the camera is capturing, and that way you'll have more control over your edits inside of Lightroom. So you can also take pictures that way. So now let's go ahead and go into this summer conference folder that we looked at before. And I'm going to go ahead and go into landscape. Once that loads, you'll see all the images we looked at on the desktop, but I have added one on the top left. So let's go ahead and click on that and look at how to do an edit on a phone. Once that loads, you'll see the image here. You have a lot of options on the bottom. You can actually, on the far right, as you swipe through these, you can actually reset. So I'm going to go ahead and reset all of this to the original. And you can see, here's the image. Well composed, looks good. Needs some editing though. The image is a little cool. I think it needs a little more light, and maybe we can make the colors pop a little bit more. So let's look at how to do that. If you look up along the top, you have edit with some options. You have an undo button, a share button, and things like that. But most of your editing tools are down here along the bottom. You've got selective and healing tools to remove objects from your frame. You can crop it and resize it and apply different profiles, none of which we're going to do in this image. You could hit auto, and auto does a pretty decent job. It saturates the colors. I think it's a bit too dark, and I actually want to do this step by step, so I'm going to go ahead and hit undo on the top. So let's go into light, and I'm going to go ahead and increase the exposure by clicking and dragging. And as I do that, you'll see the menu disappear so I can see the image better. So you can just click and drag and get that to the level of brightness you like. You can also add contrast here. You can even go to the curve on the top right and add there if you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and add just a bit of contrast as well. We can also adjust the other light settings as well. But I think we'll call that good for here. Let's next go into the color section. And I think this image overall has a cool tone, and I want to warm it up a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and click on temperature. And I'm going to go ahead and click and drag that a bit to the right. Warm the image up a bit. I like that better. And maybe we've got saturation and vibrance. Let's go ahead and look at this image. So if I click on it, it'll escape that. If I click and hold on the picture itself, it'll give me a preview of before and after, so it's already looking better. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the image again. Remember, saturation and vibrance will both intensify or increase the color, but vibrance will protect skin tones. And the orange of that kayak, I actually want to stay that same color, so I'm actually just going to increase the vibrance here rather than the saturation, but I can increase that, bring some more color into this image. And I think we'll call that good. I'm going to go to the effects, and let's add maybe just a little bit of texture to the image, and possibly in vignette. A little bit of a dark edge to draw the viewer's eye to that path and pointing to that peak in the distance. And then finally, let's adjust some of the colors in the image and intensify those. So if I go color again, up here on the top, I can click on Mix, and I can, once again, pick a specific color range to adjust with those color dials, color buttons on the top, or I can click on my Target Adjustment tool and let the program choose the colors for me. So I can choose hue, saturation, or luminance, which is color, saturation of the color, or how bright or dark it is. I'm going to actually choose saturation. I'm going to click up here in the sky, and I'm going to drag. You can see as I drag to the right, it intensifies the color. As I drag to the left, it's going to desaturate the color. So I'm actually going to increase the color of the sky just a little bit, maybe even a little bit more than that. And with that being done, I think we will call that good. Let's go ahead and exit the image. I'm going to click and hold and see the before and see the after. And I think that definitely looks better. So as you can see, it's quite intuitive. It's quick and easy to edit on Lightroom mobile as well. And it's easy for students to use. They can download the app to their phones, take pictures right from their phones, edit there, and share them.